One decision. That's all it takes to completely change your life. You are only one decision away from a completely different life. The problem is though, most men never make it. But if you do, everything will change in your life. Your success, your confidence, and your future will shift instantly.
Hey. Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh.
Hey guys, Brendan here, and in this video we're going to talk about this. One decision that you need to make that's going to change everything. And I'll share this decision at the end, but first I want to discuss a few key points on why it's so effective that this decision is going to make a big difference in your life. And the first one is the power of commitment. Most men stay stuck because they hesitate. Now, the moment you fully commit to your growth, to your discipline, to your goals, you unlock a new level of power within yourself. Most people, they let themselves down all the time because they don't say what they're going to do. If you had a friend that you kept saying, or they said to you, they're like, yep, I'm going to do this, but they didn't go there. Or they're like, let's meet here, and they kept pulling out, and they kept saying they're going to do something and they didn't. They kept letting themselves down, they kept letting you down, they never lived up to their commitments. You wouldn't have respect for them. You wouldn't really listen to them. You'd be like, oh, here we go again. You know, it's probably not going to happen. They're going to pull out. Like, you probably would not really want to hang around with them. You wouldn't have respect for them. You probably wouldn't even like them. But why do we do that to ourselves? So we need to have the commitment. Even though we've made a decision, we need to back it up with commitment. There was a long time in my life where I let myself down around eating. Like some of you may know, I struggled with the eating disorders of binge eating all the time. I was working fly in, fly out, and I'd have 4 or 5 plates of food and starve myself. My belly was like out here. It was like, I couldn't expand it. Like sometimes I'm like, man, I'm so glad my stomach didn't explode. I feel like I probably ate that much food because I had all these things going on. Anyway, long story short, I always said to myself, I'm not going to eat this food, or I'm going to be good this time. I might go out to work for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it was. And I would go, you know what, I'm going to have a really good swing. I'm not going to eat the shit food. I'm not going to eat anything that I don't want to eat. But I keep letting myself down. Now, obviously, there was a lot more things going on than it was just I was trying to use willpower and commitment. But I kept self-depreciating myself because I kept letting myself down as well. So we need to make a commitment and then live by it and go, you know what, I've made this commitment, I've done it, and make the decision to make the commitment. So the power of decision, when we make a decision, it's kind of like the universe goes, wow, he's serious now. And it's going to help with that decision. But we need to actually really make a powerful decision to do it. A lot of people, they don't. They go, oh, it'd be good to do that, or I should be doing this. But they don't actually take the time to make the decision and go, you know what, I'm actually going to do this right now. So we need to do that when it comes to your commitment. Now, William Murray said, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So we really need to make the commitment and go, you know what, this is it, it's happening, that's it, period, I'm going to do it. The second thing that's not only going to help with the commitment, but also with the decision that you're going to make, or that you're going to have the opportunity to make at the end of this, is to cut off all other options. Success isn't about having a backup plan. It's about making a clear choice and a strong decision that failure is not an option. Burn the bridges and move forward. A lot of people, they have too many options, and so they end up doing nothing, or they have a backup plan. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be okay to have some backup plan for certain risks that you might take. However, most people, they have too many other options. So it's like, I might try this, I'll dabble with this. Whereas if they cut off all other options, they have to do this, which is much better, I feel, and it's going to make you actually do it. When I first started the business, I was in construction before this, and I went all in. I cut ties. I sold my ute so I couldn't go back there. I got rid of all my tools. I don't know what happened to my nail bag and all that. I just went, you know, this is it. I'm not going back. There's no other option. And I can tell you now, if I didn't do that, there was a load of times that I'm done. This is too hard. I feel like I'm trying to help so many men, and I feel like my life's going backwards. Let's just go back to what I was doing. The amount of times that has come up for me in the start, I was like, I'm so glad I just said no. I got no other option, because I would have had to try and buy a new car and buy all of that to do, and it just would have been such a nightmare. And it was almost like I'd burnt the bridges. Well, I did burn the bridges, So then I couldn't go there. Now I still had good relationships with the people I worked with. I'm not saying that's the bridges that I burnt, but I just cut off all the options of going back there. So sometimes that's the best thing that you can do. And I say that in relationships too. Sometimes people go, you know, like there's still a small option of getting back together. I'm like, do you want to be back with them? They're like, no. Well, I'm like, just cut that thing. Like block, delete, ban, do whatever you need to do for now. It's so hard to try and have that relationship right now when you've just broken up. Just enforce the boundaries for yourself, cut off the other options, just move forward. That's one of the best things to do. Now, Julius Caesar said, if you want to take the island, burn the boats. So burn the boats if you need to. Now, I'm not saying burn other people, I'm saying burn your options when you burn the boats. So then you have no other option but to go forward with whatever it is that you want. And the third part here is once you make that decision, the ripple effect of one decision is massive. When you choose to take control, everything else aligns. Your mindset aligns, your habits align, and your results are a result of that, obviously, and they align as well. Small shifts create massive transformations. It's kind of like a compounding effect. There's always a decision and a compounding and the ripple effect. I always say I don't know how far the ripple effect is actually going. There's been so many men that have come and they've done our programs and events and they've changed, and the ripple effect's been amazing. I remember one of my first one-on-one clients, he had a 28-year meth addiction and we helped him get clean, and it was only took a few sessions. It had an amazing result with that guy. And once he got off it, his partner got off it, and then because his partner got off it and they both got off it, he was friends with his dealer and his dealer got off it and his dealer's partner got off it because he got off it. Because they all said, well, if he can do it, then we can. So by him doing that, that was only 3 other people that were affected, but I'm sure everyone that he comes in contact with afterwards now has changed because he's changed. And you see it all the time as well with men, and they change and then their family changes around them and they have better relationships. There was another guy who came home from work one day, this was about halfway through one of our programs, and his son ran up to him and gave him a big hug and said, I love you, Dad. And he said that his son's never said that to him before. And it was just from him doing the work on himself, and the ripple effect, like how much is that now helping his son, and what's happening with his son now when he grows up and becomes a father. How is he going to be a better father? All because of him changing. So this is the power in doing the work. We don't see how far the ripple effect goes, and that just comes from a decision for these men to back themselves and to go, you know what, I'm going to do something. Not waiting till their life is in all the way down the bottom where they need to do something. Unfortunately, I see so many men doing that. They feel like they have to wait until their life is bad before they start doing something. And I'm always like, why did you wait until now to come see me? Why did you do that? Like, man up and just do it. Man up and just understand that you want to develop yourself, because you don't need to wait until your life is shit or something goes bad before you actually start doing something. So do it, lean into it, just start, whatever it is. And the ripple effect from doing that work, from making that one small decision, is powerful. And William Clement Stone said, big doors swing on little hinges. So if you think about that, then it's only the small little things that just compound to make a big door swing, right? So the more that we make these little decisions, it compounds like compound interest, and everything follows from that. The ripple effect is powerful. So what is this decision that I'm talking about? It's the decision to commit to personal growth, no matter what. Everything will change for a man after he commits to personal development. Most men just drift through life. They're reacting to their circumstances. They're repeating old patterns on autopilot, just waking up one day going, where's my life gone? And hoping things will somehow improve, something will just work out. But when a man makes a choice to actively grow, he takes control of his destiny, he takes control of his future, and he actually starts creating something for himself and for his family. Growth means facing the hard truths. Most men are not courageous enough to do this type of work because they're too busy going, yep, life is all good, I'm not going to do it. But if you want to be great, if you want to become the best version of you, you have to commit and make the decision to go, right, personal growth now is not an option, it is a must, and it's going to be for the rest of my life. I'm committing to growth. You've got to break through the old limitations, and you've got to constantly evolve into the strongest, wisest, and most powerful version of yourself. It's not always easy. I can tell you that with certainty, but it's definitely the most rewarding, and it's the true path to freedom, to greater purpose, to bigger success in all areas of life. You do the easy things in life, your life will be hard. If you do the hard things in life, your life will be easy. You get to choose. I don't know about you, but I chase the hard things. I want to be the best version of myself. I'm committing to myself, I'm committing to growth, and everything changes when you just make that decision like, right, that's it, period. I'm going to make myself into the best version of myself. And so when a man does that, when a man commits to his growth, everything else just falls into place. And your life is shaped by the decisions that you make. Every single day you have a decision, or it is shaped by the decisions that you avoid. Indecision is actually a decision to fail. So make a decision one way or another. If you don't make a decision, you're still making a decision to not do something and to fail. So make the right choices today, make the right decisions today for yourself, and watch everything in your life change. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Remember, as always, I got you back for life. Drop in the comments what your biggest takeaway was if you have any questions for me, and I'll see you on the next video. Made it to the end of the video, and you are one of the top 1%ers who get to this point. Now, if you're sick and tired of not growing to the level that you want, if you're sick and tired of being the same spot that you were 12 months ago, if you're like, you know what, I've got so much more to offer, but I don't really know how to get there, then if that is you, down below, book in your call with one of my team. Just enter your phone, enter your email, and enter your number. And hey, look, we can't reach you if you enter details that are wrong. So enter your right details. We'll be able to reach out to you. We'll show you the 4 stages that we take men through that's going to completely rip you out of your current situation and push you in a new direction that where you want to go. I will push you as hard as I can to get that outcome for you, because I know how much the life is good on the other side of it when we get out of the shit, when we get onto where we want to go. So click the button and I'll see you on the other side.